It's common to observe that top of search placement has better performance than the other placement. So often clients come to me and they ask me how I can help them to bid more in the top of search. Before taking any hasty decision, I think we need to clarify some misconceptions. First, let's explain what the placement modifier are. So a placement modifier allows you to modify your bids by a certain percentage for a specific placement. So if you want to increase the top of search placement, you can increase it by 20%, for example, using the top of search placement modifier, and your bid will be increased by 20% only if your ad can be displayed in the top of search. So is increasing the top of search placement always a good idea? It can be, but generally I would say no. First, let's talk about the performance. When you are looking at the performance of the top of search placement, it can be a bit misleading. Let's take an example where you estimate a $2 bid for a keyword on an ASIN, and the actual CPC ends up being $1. It can be the case because the gap is quite high when you are reaching top of search between the different bids. In that case, your performance will be way better, and you are in the top of search. You are number one, so you can't do better. This is one of the reasons why you might think you have better performance in the top of search placement, where it's not because of the placement, but it's because the keyword is good. Secondly, when you have a keyword that is already in the top of search, and you are increasing its top of search placement, you will just bid more, and you will spend more, or your performance will actually be worse in that case. And lastly, when you play with the top of search placement, it will affect all of the targetings inside all of the ad groups of the campaign. And maybe you can pinpoint a good top of search placement for one of the keywords, but you cannot for sure pinpoint the right top of search placement modifier that will be the perfect one for all of the keywords. So I see the smart ones that will tell me it's easy, Victor, you just have to have only one keyword per campaign. And I would say, yes, you're right. If you have one keyword per campaign, you can play with the top of search placement, and it will be relevant for the keyword, this keyword specifically. But you have some downside to this. The first one is quite straightforward. You will end up having lots of campaigns. And it will be a nightmare to manage, and it will be a nightmare to be able to understand your structure when you are looking at the console. The second downside is that each campaign has a minimum budget. So unless you have an enormous budget, you won't be able to manage your budget properly. You will have to spend your time to manage the budget between the different campaigns, and your maximum budget will still be at least as high as the number of keywords that you are targeting. Implementing a good bid adjustment placement strategy is a challenge. And if you want to know more, you can read the full article on M19's blog and visit us at m19.com.